in the car because I'm on the road, but I want to talk about some stuff that Kirby said yesterday. This is getting recorded on Sunday, April 2nd. Yesterday was one of Georgia's scrimmages during the spring. It was their first scrimmage during the spring, and obviously the DAWGS have a quarterback question. The DAWGS have a quarterback competition. It seems that it's mostly between Carson Beck and Gunnar Stockton, and that those guys are battling out. They're both getting reps with the ones, and I want to read and talk about some stuff. I'm stationary right now. I'm not driving, but here's what we're working with. But I want to talk about some stuff that Kirby Smart talked about yesterday that I think is important to know when we're looking at, okay, what does he want out of these quarterbacks? What does he want to see out of these scrimmages? So, and one of these questions I asked him, but I'll read a little bit first. His initial thoughts on the quarterback. It's like everything ebb and flow. I can think of some really good things each one did, and I can think of some really poor things each one did. It's not like one guy sticking out. I'm not sure if he's just saying that part, that, you know, it's not like one guy sticking out. He's probably not going to tell us if one guy's sticking out, so I don't read too much into that. Whether that's true or not, I don't read too much into him saying that. So I'm just kind of break some of this down for you. But he talks about how Carson has a really good command of the offense. Brock made some plays with his legs that were really important, but, he'd like to have some throws downfield back. Gunnar getting reps with the threes. And what's important is how deep their threes are, right? This is a really, really deep team, and that gives them the capability of having a lot of quarterbacks that can throw to a lot of important weapons, right? Because I think that you're going to see a lot of different receivers, a lot of different running backs, a lot of different tight ends on the field for Georgia this year. I just think that's what it is. I asked him what his number one thing that he looks for out of these quarterbacks during these scrimmages. What do you want to see out of Carson Beck? What do you want to see out of Brock Vandegrift on a Saturday, April 1st scrimmage? What do you want to see out of that guy? What kind of weight does this hold on who's going to be the starter in the fall? That's kind of what I asked him. And he said, I'm looking for demeanor and communication. I can get the stats, but a true quarterback is a decision maker in our system, because some systems take all the pressure off the quarterback and they just go really fast. We don't do that. We're a quarterback-driven offense, so you can process the information. That means to signal, you get the people lined up, then you see that you see what the defense is in, and you figure it out. Are we in the right situation? Which one of these three choices Coach Bobo's given me am I going to utilize on this play? And then the play happens, and there might be a mistake or a breakdown, and you don't go into full metal jacket and have a catastrophe mode and put us in a bad situation. Decision making is the number one thing I want to see at the quarterback position. Can you make consecutive good decisions over and over that don't cost our team games? Because we don't have enough playmakers, and we have enough plays because we have enough playmakers, and we have enough plays that you will make a play inevitably. Don't make a bowhead play. That's what we're trying to avoid. So I will hit the road, but that's what I asked him. And what was interesting about when he discussed that is he got pretty fired up towards the end of that, where he said, don't make a bonehead play. Don't do this. Don't do that. He got pretty fired up when I asked him that. And at first I was like, why is he yelling at me? Why is he getting into my grill about this? And I was like, oh, wait. Something, obviously Kirby wasn't super happy with the scrimmage on Saturday, right? And he usually comes from these scrimmages not being completely pleased, right? There's always somewhere to get better. So maybe, I don't know, one of the quarterbacks did make a couple bonehead moves, but decision-making is what Kirby Smart is looking for out of the quarterback position. I think that a lot of coaches, if you kind of just look through time, you look at, what their preferences are, you need good decision makers to, Stetson Bennett was not always a good decision maker for the Georgia Bulldogs, right? That is, to me, through my football eyes, one of the things that he got drastically better at for 2022. That's something Stetson Bennett got way better at, was decision making in 2022. He wasn't as great at it, especially not back in 2020. He wasn't fantastic at it. So in 2022, he got much better at it. And I'm gonna hit the road. But yep, and I got my dog with me, so it's okay. She's old. So he's looking for a decision maker. We haven't seen any of these guys. In significant action as a college quarterback. None of the three of them have that experience. So these scrimmages are really important because they get live looks at, I got I've got to make this choice. Oh no, Jamon Dumas-Johnson's doing this. Oh man, maybe I shouldn't move. I'll park it in my driveway. Oh no, Jamon Dumas-Johnson's doing this. Oh no, this cover says that. They got to make those choices. Now, I never watched Carson Beck in high school, but I have watched him at Georgia, and I tell you what, I know that I've been, somewhat biased. I've said that I think that he's been coming along the furthest because he's been in the program for the longest, and that's a natural thing. I think that his arm is very strong. I think that one of the players last week essentially said he had the strongest arm. If you go back and read between the lines that he had the strongest arm, I think that he's accurate. For Vandegrift, when I watched him in high school, what I watched was, this is the most talented football player on the field. I'm going to do what I want with my arms and legs. That's kind of what my takeaway was when I watched Brock Vandegrift. Gunnar Stockton, I think, had to make decisions because I saw him play better competition than what his team was multiple times, right? I never watched that from Brock, and I know that happened for Brock, but when I watched Gunnar Stockton, I did watch Gunnar Stockton go up against teams that were just better than his teams, and he's still, the best guy out there, and that he... What's wrong? What's wrong, sweetie? I don't know, but listen, decision-making is what he wants out of the quarterback. That is most important, and I don't know. It seemed like Saturday he didn't get that completely.